Hello viewers, I am back making videos again. Before we get started today, I gained 3 new subscribers once everything was deleted off my channel, and I'm curious, why is that? Why are you guys here? I don't mind you being here. I know for a fact you aren't the people on Reddit I told about my channel. So just tell me why you're here in the comments, okay? So, thanks to some people on Reddit, I found this. How to reach atheist teenagers. And I thought, hey, who better to respond to / debunk this than an atheist teen, like myself?
1. Mock religion as early as you can in the conversation.
What could that possibly accomplish? If I'm trying to sell you something, making it sound terrible is not going to convince you to buy it. Same goes with convincing someone of something. If you make an idea sound terrible, that's not going to make people want to accept it as true.
The Latin word for religion comes from verb that means to bind or link back. It is man's attempt to link or bind himself back to God through good deeds and/or religious rituals.
Okay, from what I could find, the Latin here is mostly correct, but I'm not sure about the second part about linking back to God. From what I found, that didn't really come up. It sounds more like, to me, he's projecting his own views onto these terms.
But in Isaiah chapter 64 verse 6, God calls these attempts filthy rags, or, in the words of Propaganda in the Life in 6 Words video, even your good deeds are an extension of your self-righteousness.
Okay, your book might say that. If you ask me, good deeds being an extension of self-righteousness is a very stupid concept. I mean, sure, there are those people who will do good things just so they can post on social media and be like, oh, I gave a hobo a quarter, what have you done to help people? But fuck those people. The reason most people help is because they're genuinely trying to help and they genuinely care about people. Even religious missionaries who go to third world countries to help people by converting them genuinely think that's going to help. They think that saving someone's soul is more important than, actually fixing any of the problems they're facing in reality. So even if they're not being that helpful, they're still doing it because they care. Anyways, you have to hear why this guy thinks mocking religion will help. It is so baffling. So, assuming you found some atheistic teen and convinced him to listen to you ramble on about Latin etymology and how people never really do anything for themselves, this is what is supposed to convince them that there is a God.
When atheist teenagers discover that God is as disgusted by religion as they are, it gives them common ground with authentic Christianity. After all, it was religious people that Jesus railed against in Matthew chapter 23. It was religious people who crucified Jesus in Mark 15. It was religious people who killed Stephen, the first martyr of the early church, in Acts 8.
Yes, you see, God hates religion, atheist teens hate religion, therefore, us atheist teens should believe in God because he agrees with us. By this logic, I should believe that Jean-Luc Picard is a real person. As we clearly see in Season 3, Episode 4 of Star Trek The Next Generation, Jean-Luc Picard hates religion. In fact, when the people of a primitive planet make him their god, he calls it a primitive superstition. So this logic should convince us to believe in Jean-Luc Picard because he agrees with us.
Gain this common ground as soon as possible with atheist teenagers. When they see you sickened by the hypocrisy that inevitably accompanies religion, the emotional barriers that often keep them from taking a second look at Christianity can begin to fall down.
So, if we understand the hypocrisy surrounding religion, we would want to be religious? This is just me, but when something is hypocritical, it kind of builds up emotional walls, not tears them down. I'm less likely to trust something that's hypocritical and internally inconsistent.
2. Focus on Jesus. Jesus was a radical, rebel and revolutionary. This same vibe often appeals to atheist teenagers, many of whom consider themselves the same.
Oh yeah, man, us teens gotta be like totally radical, dude. We gotta get those edgy vibes, bro. Seriously, author of this article. Was your only exposure to atheist teens 90s skaters and metalheads? Because I am not edgy. If I was any less edgy, I would be a sphere. The reason that I'm an atheist is because I don't see any reason to believe in a god. There's not any evidence. If you're trying to convert people by out-edgying the edgelords, you're going to fail because you fundamentally don't understand what edginess is. You see, edginess is a type of counterculture. It's being different for the sake of being different, or so you can shock people. No matter how you spin it, no matter what you make it sound like, you cannot make Christianity a mainstream religion that a good portion of the population follows edgy. Compare the most mainstream religion to, oh yeah, all those people with their religion, fuck those guys, they're fucking retarded. Which of those is more edgy? Which of those is more likely to appeal to someone who's like, oh yeah, fuck the conformists, man? Seriously, which one is likely to be more appealing? Because if you ask me, I think, fuck that thing that everyone likes is a tad more edgier than, oh yeah, that thing that everyone likes, that's totally awesome.
Show them stories in the Bible where Jesus healed lepers, hung out with sinners, and bucked the religious system. Paint the picture of Jesus as a hero of the downtrodden. Because he was. And his death as the ultimate injustice. Because it was. When they begin to see Jesus' willingness to suffer injustice so that they could be justified, the code of unbelief can be cracked in their souls.
So you're just emotionally manipulating people into believing Jesus was awesome and that it sucks that he got killed? I mean, there's not any real proof here. You're skipping a few vital steps like proving that he's a real person, proving that he died in the way that's described, proving he's the Son of God, all that stuff. This is just emotional manipulation. Oh yeah, Christianity is totally edgy, bruh. Oh yeah, it sucks Jesus got killed. You should believe in him. This is just emotional manipulation. There's no actual proof here.
3. Speak of God as if he exists.
Well, naturally, if you want to convince someone that something is true, you might as well act as if it's true.
Instead of assuming they are true atheists, speak of God as a reality. Romans chapter 1 verses 18 to 21 makes it clear that the wrath of God is being revealed from heaven against all the godlessness and wickedness of men who suppress the truth by the wickedness. Since what may be known about God is plain to them, because God has made it plain to them. For since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly seen, being understood from what has been made, so that men are without excuse. For although they knew God, they neither glorified him as God nor gave thanks to him, but the thinking became futile and the foolish hearts were darkened.
Oh, it's this. The whole, you're not an atheist, you just hate God thing. Seriously, if I believed in God and genuinely hated him, I would be a Satanist, not an atheist. Think about it. In the conflict between Satan and God, an atheist, neutral. This is where we are. If I really wanted to piss off God, I would side with his mortal enemy, not just be like, no, that guy's not a real person, I don't care. Besides, even according to the Bible, Satan is the bringer of knowledge. I like learning new things. Also, I hear Satan throws the best luau's. Look, my point is, don't think you know what I think based on something written in a book 2 millennia, 2,000 years before I was born. I can do the exact same thing to you. Watch. In your holy book, this is according to your holy book, Luke 14:26, if you're a true Christian, you must hate your family and hate life. Now, based on that, I can conclude that all Christians hate their family, want to die, and just genuinely don't like being alive. Now, I can already hear the triggered Christians going, oh, that's not what that means, and how dare you presume to know how I feel about my family? Now, if that's what you're going to say, hold off for a moment and think. If something written in a book 2 millennia before you were born is not accurate about you in describing you, what makes you think it's accurate about me?
I have found that the more you speak of God as a reality, the sooner the atheist teen will say something like, well, if God is so good, then why? It's at this moment they are admitting that they actually do believe in God, but they don't want to acknowledge it for whatever reason. So, instead of attacking their arguments, Speak of God as if he exists and let them deal with the true core of the problem with God. Not his existence, but their accountability to him.
Yeah, no. Saying, if God is so good, why does he allow the Emoji Movie to exist, is about on the same level as saying, why is it that Gandalf didn't just fly them on the eagles to Mount Mordor? That way they could have just thrown the ring in and gotten it over with. You see, when we point out plot holes, we're talking hypothetically. We're talking about how the internal logic of a fictional universe works. Now, if I say, if God is so good, why doesn't he stop the Emoji Movie from existing? Does that mean I secretly believe in God? Well, if you say yes, then it means if I say, why doesn't Gandalf just fly the eagles to Mordor? It means I secretly believe that Lord of the Rings and Middle-earth is real.
There's another section to this article, but it's mainly just, oh, pray. If you don't pray, this whole thing won't work. It doesn't work if you don't pray. Before I end the video, I want to give a shout out to r/atheistic teens, a subreddit for atheist teens to go to talk about religion, to post atheist memes, to just talk about general angst about religion. These guys were really supportive when I mentioned I wanted to start this channel up again, even if they were a bit impatient. Also, they could really use more people on their subreddit. People don't post there very often. They need more stuff going on there. So if you're an atheist teen, head on over to r/atheistic teens for some atheistic goodness. And no matter who you are, why don't you subscribe to my channel for more atheistic goodness? You will see me in the next video.